Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging.
Oh, by the way, I want to come out and tell you guys openly, my bad. Remember last week when I said I wrote Bill Maher's script? It turns out they didn't use my script last week. They used it this week.
Talk about doubling down on what got you in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts.
Oh my God. Yep. Up. There it is. My writing back in action, baby. Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat. I wrote this. I'm sorry. It's probably my best work. Like I said, it's probably my best work. Yeah. Queers for Palestine shirts. That's what lost Kamala Harris the election.
And masks 2 years after the pandemic ended.
Yeah, this was this played another major role in the election, was mask wearing. It was a big point of contention. There were so many pro-maskers on the Democratic Party front. It was crazy. Major factor in the election was Queers for Palestine and mask wearing. Yeah.
You can't define woman, I mean person who menstruates. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
I like that the argument here is that, like, you lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person, and I basically agree with, like, everything he's saying. Like, oh, he's a crazy person who I happen to agree with almost entirely. Maher always copies Sam Harris's homework, had to wait for Sam's podcast to come out to develop his takes. Excuse me, I'm the one who wrote this. I'm the one who wrote this script.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative. Voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, they wanted her to distance herself from what they believe the entire Democratic Party has become, a Portlandia sketch. A bunch of privileged mean girls complaining about privilege and trying to make fetch happen. What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did? Oh, right, and then re-elected him. Maybe you missed it because it wasn't on TikTok.
Oh my God, I hate him so much. He is such a smarmy asshole, dude. Maybe you didn't realize that we elected Obama twice. I guess you didn't see it on your tic-tac-toe. I am not out of touch.
And sexism? Hillary got 3 million more votes than Trump, which in a normal country would be called a victory. It wasn't 21st century sexism that prevented a woman from being president. It was the Electoral College. Democrats run for office as if
Trump won both, so.
Voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. They live here, and they actually see women and people of color, and it doesn't look like some patriarchal racist nightmare. Do problems remain pertaining to racism and sexism? Of course, but a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey.
I love this argument. Like, it's like, actually, these Hispanics agree with a more rigorous border policy than the white progressives. Who's the real racist now? First of all, none of this shit matters, okay? None of it. And also, what the is a white progressive in comparison to the entirety of the Hispanic population? Like, what about Hispanic progressives? What the are we talking about? What percentage of the Hispanic population polled here self-identifies as white? This is the worst way to look at data. It makes no sense. Not only that, but also, hey, dumbass, Kamala Harris ran to the right of the former administration's border policies. So what is the argument here? She made an argument that she was going to be the border control person. It failed. People saw that as hypocritical. Okay? People saw that. They looked at it and went, what the you just said that they were racist. You said that that shit was racist not that long ago. And now you're acting like you want to do the racist shit. How am I supposed to believe you?
The votes are in. They don't want your pity. And black people can't afford to indulge rich.
It's not pity, you fucking idiot. Like, framing this conversation around humanizing migrants over leaning into the made up problems that Republicans run with, like migrants are doing and crimes and shit, when there is no data that shows that at all. All data points to the exact opposite of that. Like, leaning into right-wing hallucinations on this issue is not simply white guilt, okay? There are a shit ton of people who just simply did not vote because they felt like the Democratic Party was not representing their interests whatsoever.
White people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Kamala spent 100 days telling voters, I know it feels like crime and illegal immigration are bad, but fuck your feelings. Look at this chart. Yes, there's a lot to not like already about the new regime, but maybe take 1 week to ask what you did wrong. The basis for Democratic campaigns has become
not Bill, though. He doesn't have to think about what he might have been advocating for that's wrong. And he certainly will not be doing that in the process. He will not be doing that today. So the thing I will never understand about Bill Maher here, like what he's advocating for is like, what you hate the Republican Party, but you also want the Democrats to be more like the Republican Party. This is what happens when you have no personal convictions whatsoever. You just simply do not have any personal convictions, any policy solutions, any opinion on policy at all, and that you only care about team sports and trying to get the Democrats to win. How the Democratic Party wins the election matters. If they were advocating for every single position that the Republican Party was advocating for, like down to the fucking last moment, you know, if Bill Maher's wishes were identified by the Democratic Party, which many of it were, right? Many of it was. And they were just saying like, no, we're the new Republican Party. We're the real Republican Party. And they still lost. Would you turn around at that point and go, okay, we got to take a cold, hard look at ourselves and maybe restructure the way the party operates? No, he doesn't give a shit. It's crazy that everything that the Bill Maher types wanted was given to them by this campaign and they still lost. And they're turning around and still going, you just didn't go right enough.
We're the smart people. That we know from the get-go. No need to look into that. We know that a priori, which is a Latin phrase the Red Hat people wouldn't have a clue about.
Oh, they're so stupid. The Republicans are so dumb. Yeah, dude, they're dumb, but so are you, okay? This is the thing that I fucking despise about smarmy liberals that fancy themselves to be so much more intelligent than the fucking dumbass Republicans, while simultaneously they hallucinate in the same exact direction as those dumbass Republicans. They have a purpose, okay? They have a reason for this cognitive dissonance. They're mainlining it on a daily basis from Fox News. You, on the other hand, you're supposed to be well educated. So what's your fucking excuse, you idiot? Like, how the can you be like, these stupid Republicans believe the dumbest things and I believe them too? Ugh. Like, what? They're transphobic. So are you. They think we need to have a muscular border policy because immigrants are doing crimes. So do you. They want Israel to be able to melt Gaza. So do you. What's the difference? That you're just like marginally more pro-gay than the average hog? Is that what it is? Yeah, they're anti-vaxxers. So is Bill Maher. What's the difference? Like, what is it? What do you want? What more do you want? It's just weed. Hogs love smoking weed. So it's not even that. So what is it? He wants the Republican policies, but he wants to be smug and intellectual about its defense.
Maybe take the clothespins off your noses and actually converse with the other half of the country. Stop screaming at people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting with. What good is liberalism if you don't win elections? Last week, Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton said, I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that. Yes, there's the problem in a nutshell. Because Congressman Moulton sounds reasonable to me, but his campaign manager immediately resigned in protest. Let me make this as plain as I can to the smart people. The campaign manager who resigned, yeah, let that person go. Marginalize that guy.
That's right. Trans people. God, I'm not doing it in a dumb way. In the way that these fucking disgusting Republicans and their uneducated fears of trans people would say this. I'm saying that in a cool elitist kind of way. I am Bill Maher. I'm so much smarter than a Republican. I hate Republicans, but I love what they represent. I hate him. I hate him so much. He sucks so bad. America now has a center-right party. America has a far-right party and a center-right party. And the center-right party, of course, lost. Because why would you ever go for the diet soda when you can get the real thing? Okay? And many Americans were like, yeah, I want the real thing, dog. That's great. So it is entirely so stupid for Bill Maher to, run this theory when it does not correspond to reality at all, even a little bit.